For the longest time when I was working, when I was in studios here in Bombay, I didn't feel it. It was only when I left the city or when I ventured out or say traveled, when people came up to me, I realized that things had changed. Today I'm a very different person.
Right.
Even the way my criteria are different. My reasons to do things are different. My pace is very different, definitely. Moving to Bombay, yes, was also because I didn't have any family here or any friends. We didn't know anybody here. I cannot be repeating myself or doing the same kind of work creatively that I was doing on TV now. Hi, this is Kritika Kamra and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.
Kritika Kamra, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. Good to have you in our studio. So thank you so much firstly.
Thank you so much, Rohit.
So I'm going to take you back. This is my first proper interview with you.
Yes.
So I'm going to take you back. Kritika, you come from Madhya Pradesh, from a non-film family.
Yeah.
For the new audience that's watching this interview, tell them, how did this happen then? If you were from a non-film family, you had no connections in Bollywood, how did acting happen?
It happened by chance, and oh, thank God it happened. I'm so grateful that I chanced upon something that turned out to be my true calling. I mean, it's so rare,
Right.
And it's a blessing to be in love with what you do.
Right.
Just get up and go to work and look forward to it.
Right.
I don't take that for granted, but it happened absolutely by fluke for me. I was fortunate, I lucked out. I was in a college in Delhi. I was bunking college. I was outside my college, NIFT. And someone spotted me and they asked me to come in for an audition that was happening in Delhi for a TV show. So I did that, and I was like, I just joined college, so you're really young and reckless and and not bothered. So I went, and I think I went with full confidence and gave that audition and forgot about it. A month later, or probably more, sometime later, I got a call from them saying that they wanted me to come to Bombay to talk monies and contract, and asked me if I could move to Bombay. And then I realized that this has gotten real. And so I just, I called my parents, I told them, they were bewildered. They were like, really? Is this even a thing? And then my mom came with me and we spoke and I moved to Bombay.
Wow.
So,
And like your parents were open to the idea of you joining a completely new industry like glamour and acting?
It was very new for all of us, actually. They had no idea, I had no idea. So it was just like this fun project.
Right.
The great thing about my parents is that they have never stopped me or my brother from doing anything. They let us take chances and, do whatever we feel like.
Right.
And even in terms of like our studies, and I was a very good student, but I was never really pushed to take up, a particular stream or to go to this one college, or there were no such goals set by my parents. So they were very open to the idea. Of course, they were nervous. I was already living away from home in Delhi, which we know is not the safest place. But so moving to Bombay, yes, was also because I didn't have any family here or any friends. We didn't know anybody here. So that was a concern, like any parent would have for their daughter. But as far as the film industry goes, there was no preconceived notion.
Okay. And then just explain to people, when you come to a city like Bombay where you've never lived before, right?
Yeah.
Is it, and then you got the work, that's why you came. Is it difficult? Is it intimidating, the city, or is it helpful? How would you describe your initial experience?
I was just very excited. And this city was a very different vibe for me. I loved the people, I loved the world of cinema, I loved being on a set. So my world was actually, I was living in that cocoon when I came. Because I came with work, I didn't really have to, go through the struggles and the rounds of auditions that a lot of people have to do, and I realized how big a deal that was once I came here, because I didn't grow up with the dream of becoming an actor, so I never even bothered to find out how you become an actor.
Right.
But when I got here, I remember even like my flatmate, for example, or people who I met in Bombay, and when I learned about their journey and how long they had been around and what all they were doing, I had so much respect for them and so much like gratitude for how easily I got this. But I found by and large people were very kind to me, and they still are, I think. And also this is the beauty about I think it's the best thing about Bombay is that everybody sort of finds their own place here.
Right. True.
And it is called the city of dreams, and
Right.
it really is.
Right.
And also very accessible, good people, safe. So all those things. So I really, I mean, Bombay is home for me now, and I can't imagine living anywhere else.
Nice. That's very encouraging for people who are watching and planning to come to this
Yeah.
city for exactly similar work. Then one work leads to the other. That's how it works.
I didn't know that. So I took a break from college and came. I thought I'll go back and resume my course and finish
Okay.
my course. Also, NIFT is an all India entrance
Yes.
exam. So my HOD, my teachers were very upset that I was wasting a seat.
Yeah.
And so was I. I think I somewhere wanted to, go back, finish graduation and do those things. But it just worked out for me. Work got me more work, and
Work got you more work.
I didn't even have a moment to think or plan life. It just happened on its own. And I feel like that now. I feel like those initial years in that excitement and this passion of doing
Yeah.
a lot of work and doing new things, I ended up just taking so much work that those years are a blur for me. I think I was just working constantly, and I have no regrets, because
Right.
at that age you have the excitement and the energy, and you're open to taking more risks, I feel, because you don't know enough.
Right.
You don't care about what people think or say.
Right. TV makes you a household name. It gives you the fame that, very few can see that kind of fame. How did that change your life? How did that change life for your family back home?
It changed my life in a very real way, in the sense that I became financially independent.
That's great,
At a
yeah.
very early age. I could afford to rent a house, have a car, live a life, live an adult life in Bombay.
Right.
And that gave me a lot of freedom to do things that I wanted to,
Right.
as a young girl, and even now, the way I want to live my life. And it also gave me the freedom to make career choices eventually. I think the reason that I could at one point say no to TV or just sit back at home was because of those initial years when I
Right.
worked so much and I saved some money. So that was a very real impact on my life. And the fame and the popularity, again, you don't realize unless you're in it.
Right.
So like when you start getting that kind of love and attention from people, and that was all very new but also fascinating, and who doesn't like that? Everybody
course,
loves it.
of
So
course.
it was great, even for my family back home, especially because it's a really small place. I feel like, and in small towns, what happens is when somebody sort of makes it, everybody's proud
Right.
of you,
Yeah,
because the people are like family. It's a very close-knit community. So everybody who I went to school with, or my school teachers, I've gone back to my school to to meet the students, and
Nice.
and my mom's a principal
Okay.
of the school now. So I've had a chance to go back to those places. But yeah, those things changed for me.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, when I was working, when I was in studios here in Bombay, I didn't feel it. It was only when I left the city, or when I ventured out, or say traveled, when people came up to me, I realized that things had changed.
Right. And with time, does your working style change? That initially you said you took a lot of work.
Yeah.
Today, would you do things differently? Today, do you do things differently?
I do things differently, but would I go back and do things differently? Probably
No,
not.
not. Okay.
Because at that point, that felt right.
That was a
and
need
I
of the
had,
hour.
yeah, and that was my need
Right.
at that point. Today, I'm much more, I'm surer of what I want to do.
Okay.
I also, because like I said, I mean, I loved cinema, but I never thought I'd be a part of this world. So there was no roadmap for me. I
Right.
discovered and evolved while acting. I learned everything on the job, my tastes, the kind of things that I want to do, the kind of stories that speak to me. All these things I discovered, these discoveries happened for me on the job.
Okay.
So today I'm a very different person.
Right.
Even the way my criteria are different, my reasons to do things are different. My pace is very different, definitely.
Your pace,
I
yeah.
can't imagine going back to those times and working just like 30 days a month,
Wow.
14, 16 hours a day. I can't do that anymore.
Right.
And I'm glad that I don't have to.
Right, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Also with time, what else changes? Like now, are you picky? Are you when you make your choices?
Yeah.
I'll do this. I'll not do this. Has
Yeah.
that changed?
I was actually picky back then
Okay.
also. But
You didn't take up everything that came your
I
way
didn't.
for work.
I didn't. Even just after my first show, I remember I had a few things on my plate, and I wanted to choose the most the character that was closest to me in terms of my age
Right.
and in my outlook.
Right.
So of course it was very simple back
Sure.
then, but now the list has become longer. There are many other things that I look at when I sign something, but I've
Okay.
always been picky because I think that is I realize the value of building a body of work.
Right.
And on TV, it was very difficult to be picky beyond a point,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
why when I realized that I had, done everything and
Right.
tried my best
Right.
to do whatever I could of a certain quality on
Sure.
television, I decided to move on. Hi, this is Kritika Kamra, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.